What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters. Welcome to Life to Metal. It is time for a band discography. This is basically everything I own on vinyl by the band Anthrax. And this video was inspired by Stomp 33 1/3 RPM. Just a cool cat from the VC who loves Anthrax, and so I told him I would do this video, and here it is. Easily one of my favorite thrash bands of the big four. Anthrax has always been my favorite. Grew up in New Jersey in the 80s, was a teenager in high school when their very first single came out and bought it as a new release. I no longer have that single, but I do have a bootleg repressing of it. But this is the Anthrax Soldiers of Metal 45. Came out when I was in high school. Like I said, bought it as a new release. I became an instant fan. Saw them several times in the clubs back then, but it was from this point on that I was just an Anthrax fanatic. As a matter of fact, if you go into my high school yearbook and read my quote for graduating, it was "Metal Thrashing Mad." So there you go. But their very first album, released on Megaforce Records, was FISTFUL of Metal, right here. Original pressing, the pink logo. Later pressings have a red logo. White back, although this one's so old it's starting to yellow. But just a great album. Neil Turbin on vocals. Unfortunately, this lineup didn't last too long. Neil Turbin left, was kicked out. Depends on whose story you believe. And then Dan Lilker on bass. Dan Lilker, of course, was kicked out, which was a shame. However, he went on to form a great band called Nuclear Assault and Little Truth and several others. But just a great album. This still ranks as probably my second favorite Anthrax record, if not my first. Very close to the first. I mean, this is my first love. This is the first Anthrax album I purchased, full-length album I purchased, and I still love it to this day. Just not a bad song on it. Death Rider, Metal Thrashing Mad, I'm 18, Panic, Subjugators, Soldiers of Metal, Death from Above, Anthrax, Across the River with Howling Fury. I mean, even I'm 18, which is the Alice Cooper cover, I love that cover. I think it's great. Some people seem to think it doesn't fit, but I like it. So that followed up with the Armed and Dangerous EP, which I also love. I actually bought this as a new release as well. Went to the mall, was hanging out with our friends. Couldn't wait for this thing to come out because we wanted to hear what the new vocals sounded like. Joey Belladonna joined the band, and fantastic. I mean, he just upped the ante as far as I'm concerned. Not that Neil Turbin was bad, but Joey Belladonna, I loved him. I still do. I think he's great. He fits the band perfectly. And the other thrash bands, you know, of the big four, didn't really have vocals like this. I mean, Joey Belladonna could sing. He could scream, he could shout, you know, and but he could sing, and that's what was unique about them. You know, they had the furious riffs, they had the fast down picking, the machine gun riffing, you know, the furious double bass, and all the things you expect from thrash metal. But they also had a vocalist who could sing, which to me actually puts these guys more in the speed metal camp. But that's a whole other story. So, Armed and Dangerous is a follow-up to FISTFUL of Metal, and then the follow-up, which this is my favorite. Again, another one I bought as a brand new release, Spreading Disease. I bought this on cassette the first time, played it in my car to death until I wore that tape out. Of course, I also bought the vinyl eventually. Again, I think they upped the ante on this one. Everything was just awesome on here. Saw the band twice on this tour, which probably is one of the reasons I like them so much. One time, I think it was, man, I saw them at the L'Amour Club in New York. I swear it was White Lion opening up, but I can't totally remember. But the other time I saw them, Heathen's Rage opened up, and that was at City Gardens in Trenton, New Jersey, and they were fantastic. Again, every song on here, AIR, Lone Justice, Madhouse, Standardfall, The Enemy, Aftershock, Armed and Dangerous, Medusa, Gung Ho, every song on here is just awesome. Fantastic Anthrax. Oh, by the way, I always also thought that the song on here called Raise Hell, which is a studio song on this EP, was vastly underrated and should have been far more popular. It was just one that never, I don't know, caught on with the band or the fans. Anyhow. So yeah, as well, I got the, this is the Madhouse 12-inch single featuring AIR and God Save the Queen on the B-side, which I believe were live. Haven't heard this single in a while, but pretty sure they were live. The follow-up to that was probably the one this is my third favorite of all of them, Among the Living. By this time I was in college. Again, I bought this as a new release. My college roommates and I just devoured this thing, played it over and over and over again. Saw the band again on this tour, and they were fantastic. Again, it's just a ball of energy. again, not a bad song on here. The lineup stayed the same for this album as well as the last one. So you've got Frank Bello on bass, who pretty much stayed on bass for most of Anthrax's career. I mean, he left for a short spell, joined Helmet, I believe. Joey Belladonna on vocals, Scott Ian on guitar, Dan Spitz on lead guitar, and Charlie Benante on drums. Again, just a fantastic album. This album, I think, the band started experimenting more with, with a little more hardcore-ish in spots. Not that you could call this a hardcore album. This is still a thrash album, still a heavy metal album, but there's just a little bit more hardcore in here. And definitely the band was experimenting with their sound. I mean, because not only did they do that, but they also released the I'm the Law EP, which contained the B-sides I'm the Man. Then there's several different versions of this, and Buddy Love Bomb and Satan's Lounge Band, which is a hilarious song. So, you know, I'm the Man was their first forte into, forte, is that the right word? Their first try at doing something rap metal-wise, and it's supposed to be a joke song. It's a B-side track, but it took off. People loved it. They continue to play it in concert pretty much to this day, as far as I know. And it is a very, very fun song. Of course, they went on to do more rap stuff in the future, which we'll get into as I get on. I Need to Keep Moving, Anthrax CD, Euphoria, Still in College, Still Not as a brand new release. Gotta say, huge as an Anthrax fan as I was a little disappointed with this album when it first came out. Now, I like it now, but to me it still sounds not quite finished. Like there's something just not quite done, or not quite there. Great songs on here, some heavy stuff. Be All End All, Out of Sight, Make Me Laugh. Of course, Antisocial was a huge song for them. Who Cares Wins. Of course, the band getting into a lot of social and political topics on these albums. Now It's Dark, Schism, Misery Loves Company, 13, and Finale. Same Anthrax lineup as the last two albums. They toured on this. They were massive. They were playing stadiums. But to me, this album does not rank high in their discography. I like it. It's a good album. Don't get me wrong. I like every Anthrax record. But this one would be more towards the bottom of my favorites list. And then there is the I'm the Man EP, which was also released around that same time. Like I said, I'm the Man, which was originally a B-side, became popular, so they released it as a full EP with, 3 versions I think it's on here. I'm the Man censored version, I'm the Man deaf uncensored version, I'm the Man live version. Then there's Caught in the Mosh live, I'm the Law live, and then Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, a cover of Black Sabbath, of course. Great EP, great cover song, and Anthrax always did great cover songs. I mean, they just have done some awesome ones. Anyhow, great EP. As well, around the same time, this is actually a UTFO, which is another rap band, Anthrax combination single for the song Lethal. But it was really only 2 guys from Anthrax that were involved in this, as far as I know. It was Dan Spitz and Joey Belladonna, who did some vocals on this thing. This song never took off like their song they did with Public Enemy, or like their own rap joke song that they did. Still a cool song, still a cool single. Kind of hard to see. There's like a skull. It's black on black, but the band is not on the B-side, which is Swat Get Down, and only on the A-side on the Lethal song. That was followed up with Persistence of Time, which would probably rank in about number 4 in my favorites list, under the other 3 I've already shown. This album, they just returned to form, in my opinion. Great album, a little more progressive, a little more serious, less joking around, more political topics. I don't think there was any songs about comic book characters on here, or any kind of stuff like that, but regardless, just a great album. Again, Joey Belladonna is still around, same lineup. However, the lineup was becoming volatile, and it would soon change. It was also released around that same time, The Attack of the Killer Bees. Kind of an EP. It's actually a full length. It's kind of a B-sides compilation. So you've got Milk, Ode to Billy, which of course was an SOD song. I didn't include SOD in this collection because I do have the SOD stuff, but it's not Anthrax. So, of course, 3 of the original Anthrax members ended up in SOD, so it could have been. But we got Milk, Ode to Billy, which is an SOD song here, done by Anthrax. Bring the Noise, which of course is the song with Public Enemy that they did, which was a massive hit for them, massive crossover hit. Keep It in the Family Live, Starting Up a Posse, Protest and Survive, Chromatic Death, I'm the Man 91, Parasite, great Kiss cover, Pipeline, Sex, Belly of the Beast Live, and NFB, nice fucking ballad. So there you go, Anthrax, Killer Bees. And I love this EP, or this compilation, whatever you want to call it. I play this thing a lot. Really enjoy it. So it's kind of diverse. Mixture of live songs, cover songs, B-sides, rap songs. I mean, it's got a little bit of everything on it. A lot of fun. All right, so after that, we lost Joey Belladonna, and we gained Armored Saint's John Bush on vocals. And frankly, I love those albums. I love every album he sang on, but I don't have them on vinyl. None of them. I do have the Black Lodge 12-inch single, which I thought I'd show. And while I'm showing singles, let me just go ahead and show a few more singles. Here's the 7-inch single for Indians. I can't remember what it's backed with. Backed with Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and Taint. This is Make Me Laugh. And I can't remember for the life of me what it's backed up with. Antisocial, Live. Of course, I didn't show you the cover, but there it is. This is Antisocial single, backed with Parasite. It's on a clear or translucent yellow vinyl. John Bush, the Black Lodge 7-inch single, backed with, what is it? This is not... Let's take a look, because I can't remember what it is now. Yeah, this is not an Exit. And this is actually a poster bag single, so this folds out to a poster. And a few newer singles. This is from last year's Record Store Day. Antisocial Live, back with In the End Live. Remembering those lost in the 2015 Pirates Attacks. And then this is this year's single for A Monster at the End. And I'm actually recording this before I'm doing a 7-inch single, so this one's going to 7-inch single update, so you're going to see that one again soon. Okay, anyhow, so like I said, I don't have any of this stuff with John Bush on vocals on 12-inch vinyl, so we're going to skip over to the reunion stuff, which they released some live albums, they released some compilations, they released some remastered stuff. Great albums. I have all of that stuff on CD. I've got singles up the wazoo on CD, but don't have them on vinyl. So we're going to have to skip all the way to what, 2014, I believe it was? 2011 to Worship Music. And this is a return of the original Anthrax, or the Armed and Dangerous Anthrax lineup. And man, what an album this is. This would go and rank high up in the list as me for well. Try that again. This would rank high up in the list as well for me. And just sounds like classic Anthrax to me. Thrash, it's a little more melodic if you ask me. It's a little more straightforward heavy metal. There is some fast parts, there is some thrashy parts, but it just sounds like Anthrax to me, you know? Call it speed metal, call it thrash, call it heavy metal. Who cares? It sounds good. It's Anthrax. I love it. 2011. We lost Dan Spitz after that one, I believe. However, we did gain an EP of cover songs. So you got Anthem from Rush, TNT from AC/DC, Smokin' from Boston. You've got Keep On Running from Journey, which is funny because I remember them in interviews them teasing when they lost Joey Belladonna at first, saying, you want to be a singer for Journey, and then they do a Journey song. So, and of course, Joey Belladonna does an awesome version of that. Big Eyes from Cheap Trick, Jailbreak from Thin Lizzy, great song. And then there's a remixed version of Crawl from the from this album, from the Worship Music album. And I have this one on CD as well. Actually, I have all these on CD as well as vinyl. And then we're going to end with this one, which is the most recent studio album from them. This is For All Kings. And to me, this album is probably a step above Worship Music. So it would rank really high in my list too. Matter of fact, this one might even go in number 4 slot underneath the the early 3 that I showed. But it's a great record, and I played it over and over and over again, never tiring of it. If I'm not mistaken, this was this year, right? 2016, early 2016. Yeah, this one will make my top 10 of 2016 without a doubt. There's just not a bad song on here. You Gotta Believe is great. Monster at the End is great. For All Kings is great. Bloody Eagle Wings. The video on MTV, or MTV, on YouTube for that is just gorish. Hard to explain. If you ever seen it, I only watched it once or twice. It's really hard to watch, but it makes its point. Just a great record. So there you go. That's my Anthrax vinyl collection. However, let me add 2 more to those. I have a couple bootlegs. This is a bootleg called Madhouse. that I picked up cheaply at Charlie's Records in Albuquerque just maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, not that long ago. It's got recorded live material from Stockholm in '86, Donington Park in '87, as well as demos from '82. 2-record set. Nothing really special about the packaging. It's just, there's no gatefold or anything. And then this is a bootleg as well. This is a Back on Black release from the UK. Recorded live in Texas, 1987. Great set, great show. Very cool. Again, this is a gatefold, but there's really not much to see on it. It's just, I don't even think there's a picture of the band on the inside. It's not even the, you know, Anthrax logo, I don't think. Oh, actually, there is a picture of the band on the inside, so there's your gatefold, and it's on a translucent red vinyl. So that's it. That's what I own by Anthrax. So check them out if you haven't already. Who hasn't checked them out? They're one of the big 4, right? Hope you enjoyed that. That's it. Leave a comment below. I'll respond as quickly as I can. And that's it. God bless. Stay strong.